my channel. I'm Ashley. If you are new here, I do beauty videos, lifestyle videos. That's my cat. I do morning routine videos. I do it all. Anyway, in today's video, I am doing my part 1 of my makeup collection. So I'm going to be doing these in parts because I feel like one makeup video will be forever long. So today I'm doing my eyeshadow palettes. That's what I'm going to start off with. So I organize my eyeshadow palettes in these. I have 2 of these, and then I have just a few miscellaneous palettes like right here that I just keep. I have a bathroom organizer that I just keep them in. It's the bamboo one. I'll link it down below. That is IKEA. So anyway, so without further ado, let's get into it. So I guess I'll go through the miscellaneous ones that I don't have in these containers. So and I'm only doing eyeshadow palettes in this video. I'm not doing like highlight palettes and contour palettes. I'm just doing eyeshadow. So the Nubian by Jouer palette, it's really pretty, has a bunch of nudes. I really like this palette. It's a really good everyday palette, and it's very cheap and at Ulta. I just got this in my, you probably saw, did I post this video? I don't think I posted this video, never mind. In my BoxyCharm. It's the Fairy Tale Storybooks Cosmetic. It was the limited edition one that they put in the BoxyCharm. Really pretty reds, shimmeries, really pretty. I think you can only get this if you get BoxyCharm, so not going to say too much on that. I have the Tarte Pro Go little eyeshadow palette. Just good for on the go. Really good to throw in your bag if you need the Go eyeshadow palette. I got this also in my BoxyCharm. This is the Ace Beauty Scarlet Dusk palette. It has these really pretty colors. I love this palette. I used it when I went on vacation recently, and I just love all the shades that you get, and it's very pretty for a warm autumny winter look. Really good palette. Ooh. I have the Thrives Cosmetics palette in Perfect Eye Palette, Warm Neutrals. This is a beautiful palette. It is so pretty. I love it. I love their whole like giving back with every purchase that they have at Thrive Cosmetics, and the shades are just beautiful shades. Just like that, and it says you're perfect just the way you are. So cute. So again, in no particular order, I'm going to jump back between brands and all that. So just whatever I see first. I also have the Yes Please by ColourPop. It is also a very warm tone palette. Ooh, it's a little dirty. This is one of their first palettes like this to be released, I believe. And it is the most beautiful colors ever. I love this palette. I love this yellow. Oh, so pretty, pretty, pretty. Look at that. So pretty. So I really like this palette. Really good to blend and very cheap. I think it's $12, I believe. Maybe $16, but I think $12. And you can get it at Ulta as well. This was a limited edition with, I'm like slouching, sorry, I'm just like sitting on my floor. A limited edition with Casey Holmes. That Physicians formula I did with the butter collections. And I want to just mention this because it does have, first of all, I love Casey Holmes. I really do. But this packaging is ridiculous. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, I don't know. I feel like it should have came, if they wanted to do this kind of packaging, maybe you could remove them as like little tiny palettes, I guess. But I really do love how buttery, oh my god, pigmented as heck. That is so crazy. I just smushed it with the yellow. But I really like that. And this is kind of has a blush, a bronzer, and a highlight. But I said eyeshadows. So that was all the miscellaneous ones that I have. Now I'm going to get into the first box here. So I said just eyeshadow palettes. The first one I'm seeing is my tried and true, the So Jaded, the Kathleen Lights one. I already said about this in my November favorites. This thing is amazing! So many different colors, so pigmented. This shade, amazing. What is this called? Diamond? I've already like almost hit pan on that. I swear to God, it's going to be soon. It's such a good shade. My cat also got into it. But a really good palette that everybody should have. Like, go run and get it. Next one is my Too Faced palettes. This is actually the first palette I ever bought with my own money. That was like high end. It's the Chocolate Bar palette. I just hit pan, which is so funny, in Salted Caramel because I have had it forever. And I know that they expire, but in my mind they don't. Is that bad? Probably. But I keep it anyway. I will get a new one at some point. I know I will when it just loses its pigments and stuff. Ow! I just closed up my finger. But really good. My favorite shade is for sure Salted Caramel. That is for sure the best eyeshadow palette. For sure the best eyeshadow that has ever been made. I swear. That's my... Ask me what my favorite eyeshadow is. It is Salted Caramel in the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. Such a good palette. If you are just starting out with makeup and want to kind of dive into eyeshadows, I recommend this. It's what I used in high school. It's good. I also have the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I really like this. This is definitely more of a, I wouldn't say cool tone, but I would say this is definitely more warmer, and I feel like good to start out with than this one. But still smells like peaches. It's such a good palette. I definitely have not used this one as much as the Too Faced one. I have used it a lot though. I really like the shade Candied Peach right here, and I like the shade Luscious right here. So I really like those. This purple is really good too in Delectable. I really like that one as well. It's a really good palette. I got this because it was being... I had the Smoky, the Naked Smoky. I'll talk about this first. This is not the one that I was talking about. But I do like Naked Smoky a lot. It's a classic smoky look if you're going for that. Perfect for nights out. You could also do like a everyday look down over here using some of this. But so yeah, I like this palette. Really good palette. Classic Naked. The Naked palette, the original one, was being discontinued. And I was like, oh, I need to get it before it discontinues because I never tried it. I really do like this. I really do like all the shades. I love how you can flip it back. I love when palettes can do that because it makes it so much easier to use. Really good shades, really good shimmers. Is it my favorite? No. But do I like it? Yes. But it's not my favorites. I mean, I have better ones that, you know. This is the limited edition one with the Disney Looking Through the Looking Glass, not Too Faced, Urban Decay palette. Well, first it has this thing, which is so pretty. And it opens with a little butterfly. This is more of a collector's item for me, for sure. But I mean, I do use it as well. But it has a little tray, which is really, really, really bulky, but it is, again, a collector's item, so I'm good with it. It has a lot of different shades. I have played around a little with the blue, as you can see, and the blues up here, and I haven't really touched the green or anything, but also a really good palette. Not going to say too much because you can't get it anymore. I have this Rainforest of the Sea Tarte eyeshadow palette of Volume 2. This is really pretty. Not my favorite eyeshadow palette, to be honest. I like it, so I keep it, and I think it's really, really pretty. Will I end up decluttering this at some point? Probably. And giving it to my sisters or something. Because I'm not the biggest fan of it. Maybe it works for some people, but it does not work for me very well. But it is really, really, really pretty, I must say. I just... Not the best Tarte palette they've come up with. So next one I had was a Tartelette in Bloom palette. I do not have the original, but I heard that one kind of sucks anyway. Sorry, but so I have the Tartelette in Bloom one. This one tried and true. Tried and true. Did I say it? Along with my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, I was using this one in high school as well. Such a good palette, so many shades. It's obviously so dirty. I love the shade Sweetheart, the shade Smarty Pants, and the shade Flower Child the best. Those are definitely the ones that I use the most. Really good palette though. I mentioned this in my November favorites video. The Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Again, I can flip it over. Bam! A Kathleen Life's recommendation. Such a good palette. So many good shades. I use this all the time. You just can't go wrong. They did such a good job with this palette. Next, I'm seeing this big Morphe palette right here. This is the there we go. Fall into Frost 35F palette. This palette is really nice. If you're doing some kind of event and need a bunch of eyeshadows, great for fall, like it says, Fall into Frost. Fall and winter, beautiful shades. Even summer shades, like such good glitters. I feel like they do need a few more mattes in this. I feel like you only have 7 mattes. I feel like there should be more mattes, but it has a lot of good shimmers. It has a good highlight over here, a good black. I like this palette a lot. Next up, I am seeing the Proof is in the Pudding eyeshadow palette from Beauty Bakery. I got this in a FabFitFun box. I honestly have not used it yet, to be honest, but it has very pretty shades, and I love Beauty Bakery, so I'm very happy to dive into this, which will be very, very soon. The packaging is just so cute. But yeah, really good shades in that. Next up, I'm seeing the Nubian 2 by Duavia's Place. Is that how you say it? Or is it like Duvia's? I don't know. I don't know how to say the brand. I hear people say it all the time, but I don't know how to say it. Anyway, I love this palette so much. I have used this one a bunch, even though it doesn't look like I have. I love how big the shades are. Like, you can use this forever. Like, it probably expires in a year, but I keep eyeshadow palettes for forever, because I mean, to me they don't expire, but foundations and stuff, mascara is a different story. But eyeshadows, to me, I feel like you can get a lot of use out of them. Really love the blue, love this color. This is the color Morocco and Sheba. Really good palette. Next, I have the ColourPop Designer Collection in Midnight Masquerade. Beautiful. I love the pressed glitters in here. Royal Ball and Floating Lantern, so pretty. These 3 top pinks, Damsel, Pip, and Enchanted. Is Pip one of the mice's names? What is Pip? I don't know. But that comes from the Disney collection. But I love this palette. My sister got it for me. Oh, and I love Mama Odie. I love that shade too. So a really good palette. A good collector's item as well. I also mentioned the Zodiac palette from Kathleen Lights. My favorite is the Torres. Torres. How do you say that? I'm not a big Zodiac person. So I don't know. Taurus? I think it's Taurus. Wow. Anyway, I put that on my lid with the ColourPop liquid eyeshadow that I mentioned in my yearly favorites, the Kathleen Light Zodiac one. I put those together and it's freaking beautiful. But I love this palette. This was a really good one from them. I also mentioned the Dream Street palette, and then it was a classic and beautiful shades. And I definitely need to use this more because it's not one that I grabbed for, and I really should because it's good. Also, the 2 sisters, I like to say, or maybe sisters and brothers. Where did I put the Soul one? Oh, here it is. So I had the Mar one, the ColourPop Mar palette, and the ColourPop Soul palette. Really good palettes, cheap. They have mirrors. They did redesign these now. They look different than what I have. But really, really beautiful palettes. Really good color selections. Really good for like a sunsetty or like a, sunsetty or like a moon midnight vibe. So Really good palette. I also have the Pac-Man times Wet and Wild colors. A colorful palette that they released. The Game Over color palette. And I have not used this yet because it has so many colors. But maybe I'll do a tutorial using colors. That'd be cool. But I just haven't had a reason to use it. But Kathleen Lights did... I cannot talk today. Kathleen Lights did a makeup tutorial on this palette. So go check that out if you want to see that. I also have the Nubian 3 Coral palette. This is really beautiful. I love these pink shades. A really good pink and gray palette for like a pink smoky eye. Pink smoky eye, this palette. I did also mention the Dose of Colors Katie times or Desi times Katie palette. Really beautiful glitters. If you are a glittery person, you need to get this palette because it has the most beautiful glitters. These 3 down here, beautiful. I love this palette. The Morphe times Kathleen Lights palette, you can't get anymore, but really good palette. But I'm not going to talk about it much because you can't get it anymore. One, I think it missed the BU Tarte one, or Sugar Rush, Tarte, whatever, that I mentioned. A really good palette. I mentioned it in my haul that I posted last video. And really, really, really pretty. I've already used it like 4 or 5 times, which is good for me because I have so many palettes, but really love that. Okay, and then I have the Celestial Thunder palette that I got my BoxyCharm by DC Cosmetics. Really pretty. I haven't dived into it very much. I think I only used the shimmery shades and this shade, Storm Dust, but really beautiful palette and really good shades. I said DC Cosmetics. Dominic Cosmetics. I've never ever heard of that brand, never tried that brand before. I had that palette. So last but not least, limited edition Pure Trolls palette. I loved this palette when it first came out. I was like, I need to get my hands on that. When I was in high school, like towards the end, my go-to eyeshadow look was fuzzy in the crease and then DJ Suki in like the outer corners, and then Bergen Town was in my outer corners as well. That was my go-to palette because it made my blue eyes pop so much. But yeah, that is it for, I didn't do like single shadows in this or anything like that. I just did eyeshadow palettes. That is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to do more makeup collection videos later. I'm going to do like one video for foundations and concealers, one video for primers and setting sprays, and maybe I'll come out of those videos because I don't have very many of those. I'll do one video for lipsticks and stuff like that, one video for single eyeshadows, one video for bronzers and highlights and blushes and stuff like that. Kind of just like split it up so it's not too much at one time and like a really, really long video. But yeah, that completes my video. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.